Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jennifer Foster. I'm Deputy Executive Director at the Illinois Community College Board. And the Illinois Community College Board oversees Title II, which is adult education. And also that is a core partner. And then we also have oversight for the post-secondary Perkins program as well. So what I will try to do is just to go through and just kind of hit some of the high points of what adult education is. I'm sure I can't match Marlon's enthusiasm, and let me tell you, as being on the board, it's definitely refreshing to have folks that are really passionate about this work. So thank you, Marlon. Um, Adult education serves quite a few individuals throughout the year. It aims to serve those folks that need basic literacy skills. Uh, Maybe those individuals are immigrants or English language language learners, and providing them with a wide variety of instructional programs as well as instructional support. Over 1 million individuals have less in Illinois have less than a 12th grade education. Nearly 500,000 lack the English literacy skills that are needed in order to advance in the labor force. More than 65% of the jobs require post-secondary education, and only 27% of young adults with no high school diploma have a good job. So I know we could say, what constitutes a good job in this era. We know that there are lots of job openings, and some of those job openings are going unfilled. And we do know that the current graduating classes of our high schools will not be enough individuals in order to in order to fill those jobs. So this population of individuals, if in Illinois we have 1 million adults that have less than 12 grades of education, and then we have those individuals that lack the English language skills, we have work to do. We have a lot of work to do to get these folks into jobs and into family sustaining wages. Next. As I stated, the Illinois Community College Board oversees both the adult education Title II as a core partner, as well as post-secondary education, post-secondary Perkins programs. We work very closely with our State Board of Education, our Board of Higher Education, but our board adopted 3 major goals, in which Marlon McClinton is a part of our board, one of our board members. Our goal number 1 is to support minority, first generation, and low income students across the whole entire state, whether it's urban, rural, suburban communities. And the whole idea is to reduce equity gaps. And we know that adult education students, there are equity gaps, especially if we're seeing folks that have less than 12 grades of education. They lack the literacy skills in order to be able to function effectively in their communities. Our next goal is to support a seamless transition for students, whether it's through the education pipeline or whether it's into the workforce system. So we want to make sure that we are engaging and also provide that equitable access and outcomes for all of our students. The last one is, I know that it definitely correlates, all of these 3 correlates, but this number 3 talks about economic development. And what we're trying to do is make certain that individuals get the skills that they need in order to make that advancement into the workforce so that they can become, the contributing individuals within their communities in terms of paying taxes. So that's why we want to make certain that within our community college system that we're building a quality career pathway system to address some of the needs of our workforce. And we know that those are many. Next. When we talk about funding for adult education, funding is distributed to the ICCB for adult education. We have the U.S. Department of Education, where we receive approximately $20 million annually. We also have a state of Illinois maintenance of effort that we have to maintain. Which is about 35.5 million that we receive from the state. And we have some other state initiatives that we are working on specific areas so that we can make sure that we are elevating the literacy skills and making certain that we can provide some specifics to our students. The first area is we have $2 million for expanding distance education. One thing that COVID taught us is that adult education can function with virtually. And so that's what we're doing. And this is a big, huge jump going from a program that did not have any type of virtual or very limited virtual access to distance education to now 12% of our adult learners are expanding into distance ed. The next area is $750,000 for expansion of English language acquisition services. And we know that there is a growing need serving new arrivals. Primarily, those arrivals are coming to the Chicago area. So this enabled us to provide services to partner with agencies such as the Department of Human Services, Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, our Title III IDES partners, as well as working with the Disabilities Title IV. So some types of programs and services that we provide, we have our adult basic education learners that need that basic literacy level. So you're talking about individuals that function below a ninth grade level equivalency. You have adult secondary that individuals that are preparing for their high school or their state of Illinois diploma, as it is called now, the state of Illinois diploma. And that's for individuals that are above that ninth grade level equivalency. Also, we provide English as a second language instruction. And this instruction makes up the majority of the folks that we're serving, as you will see on another chart. We also have integrated education and literacy civics instruction for English language learners. And this is instruction that combines some civics, it combines some basic education, and moving more so towards workforce transition and getting folks prepared for the workforce. Bridge programming, this is sort of a universal term. I think I heard on yesterday someone talking about the career pathway guide, and so we make certain that across all of our state agencies, we're using the same terminology, and bridge programming is one of those areas that we are using consistently across the system. So it's the ability for adult learners to come in and look at instruction through the eyes of contextualization of a specific industry in order to prepare them to transition into post-secondary education or additional training. Employability skills instruction is embedded in all elements. We try to make certain that we know that the ultimate goal of a lot of our learners I would say 95% of our learners to move into employment. And so that's what we want to do is we want to not only embed that instruction. We don't want to just embed it on the back end. We want to make sure that we're putting it into every level of instruction so that individuals can sort of build and understand the importance of employability skills. Integrated education and training. This is our IET program that we work very closely with workforce training. We work very closely with post-secondary Perkins as well as adult education. While individuals are working to receive their state of Illinois high school diploma, they're blending that instruction with workforce training that leads them to some sort of credential. So at the end of this type of instruction, we're hoping that individuals can earn a certification, whether it be a credential issued by a community college or a credential that is industry recognized. So we have approximately 74 providers across 600 locations. And you see the nice little map over on the right-hand side. As I stated before, we have 52% of our colleges 52% of our adult education providers are community colleges. We have another 15% that are local education agencies, whether that be school districts or whether it's regional offices of education. We have four-year higher education institutions. We have community-based organizations, faith-based organizations, as well as Department of Corrections. So 74 providers, 600 locations throughout the state. And we know that as we get to the next slide, we know that we're serving quite a few individuals. So 59,100. And ask the question, what would it look like if we were able to accommodate the million of individuals and the 500,000 individuals that are immigrants into our programming? We would definitely have to have more sites, and we would have to have more providers and more resources in order to be able to accommodate these individuals. But when we look at this particular chart, as we are serving over 59,000 individuals, we have 53% of the individuals that we serve are Hispanic or Latinx individuals. We have another 23% that are Black or African American, 10% that are Asian, and 13% that are white. If we look at our ages, our average age is somewhere around 27 years of age. But you can see on the chart on the right that the age of 25 to 44 is that particular working age population. And those are the folks that we want to capture, bring into our adult education programs, get them into an IET program, because we know that time is of the essence with this population, and we definitely want to get them into training, get that credential, industry, or a community college certificate, and get them well on their way to earning a family-sustaining wage. So in terms of preparation for the workforce, we do a lot of coordination and referrals at the local level, from one title to the next, and we work with community-based organizations in order to make some local referrals. We recognize that we cannot do it all, and I'm pretty certain that I would echo that for the other titles. So therefore, it's incumbent upon us to make certain that we are doing some cross referrals We may find a person that is in a Title I, II, III, and IV program, but that's a good thing because that means that they're getting the services that they need. All adult education providers offer a bridge program and an integrated education and training program. We do understand the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, and having the first word be workforce, we know that that's what we want to do is concentrate on that area. But we also know that we have individuals that lack basic skills. And so what we want to do is make sure that bridge programming incorporates contextualization of an industry so that individuals can really focus in on what it is that they want to explore in terms of an industry or a sector that they want to actually go into after they are complete. And with IET, making certain that that's an accelerated pathway. Making certain that they do earn those industry recognized credentials or the community college credentials, as well as their state of Illinois high school diploma, because we want to build that resume. We want to pack it full because that makes them more marketable. Workplace literacy programs, we have education and literacy programs that are offered on site at employer site for current employees, trying to make certain that individuals have the literacy skills, primarily the English language skills that they need in order to be successful. So here's a success story. This is Vanessa. She is an immigrant from El Salvador. She's at Heartland Community College, which is off of US 51, or if you're coming down from the Chicago area, it's down 55. And if you're coming over from the Danville, Champaign area, you're going 74 west. And if you're coming over from the Peoria area, you're going 74 east. So it just kind of, sits right there in the middle of the state. And so she found a job at a cleaning company, and she was working her hours, but she allowed time to pursue her class time. So that flexibility that we provide for our students. So in May, Vanessa completed her GED exam, and now she no longer works cleaning houses. Vanessa also is now doing some payroll, handles payroll and bookkeeping as a part of that. And so some of her future plans are to attend Illinois State University, which is a hop, skip, and a jump right across the way from Heartland, and pursue a career, a degree in accounting. So this is only one of many success stories that we have. And so we're quite pleased with what our program is able to do and accomplish, not only for our state in terms of economic development, but also for our students who are looking just for a better way of life. So just to give you a little bit of insight, we have post-secondary Perkins, which is a WIOA required partner as a part of the federal law. Next slide. And so we look at the Strengthening CTE Perkins Act is what it's called, Strengthening Career and Technical Education Act. And I try not to speak in acronyms, but sometimes we just get caught up in doing that. The authorization, the program focuses on improving the academic and technical achievement of CTE students, strengthening that connection primarily between secondary and post-secondary, and improving accountability. While the focus is on that secondary to post-secondary group of students. We do, as I stated before, we do have individuals that are between the ages of 27 and 30, adults that we're trying to get back into these technical programs because we know that it's going to yield them an increase in their skills in order to be employable. Our funding, we have $18 million from the U.S. Department of Education. As I stated before, we work very closely with the State Board of Education as it relates to the CTE Perkins Act. 18.9 million from the state and as it relates to maintenance of effort and monies that we have to maintain in order to keep our CTE program thriving. And other CT initiatives that we have going on are 15 million for pipeline for the advancement of healthcare. That's our PATH program. We have $9 million for the Rev Up EV initiative, which is looking at a lot of the differing areas that are happening now in terms of EV, $5 million for trade school initiatives, looking at things like manufacturing and construction, a lot of those areas that are going to yield folks a livable wage. So all of our community colleges are eligible training providers under WIOA, providing low cost. That's one of the things that we talk about a lot. We like our partnering with our local workforce boards so that we can help them to provide that high quality training to the clients. All CTE programs have program advisory committees. Employers are a part of that advisory committees, and each one of our community colleges, and we have 39 community college districts and 48 community college. So just think about every one of those has to have an advisory committee. And so making certain that we give employer perspectives as a part of the curriculum that is developed and any training needs that is happening, we work very closely and make certain that they are at the table. As of August of 2023, we've served 103,840 students. There are approximately 4,200 approved CTE programs, consisting of some over 1,200 that are degree programs and a little over 3,000 that are certificate programs across all sectors and career clusters. So we're quite proud of both of those programs, adult education and CTE. Both of those programs really interact a lot with their local workforce boards. They're very much participating. That last slide there just gives you some resources that if you wanted to look and explore a little bit more prior to our meeting coming up next week, then this gives you an opportunity to do that. So I want to invite Whitney, if you want to say anything that I may have missed.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. No, I think you did a great job, Jennifer. Very comprehensive.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Jennifer. Very
Well,
much.
thank you so much. And if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer those.